Everybody. All right, so today we're going to do some number properties. Number properties is huge. There's a lot to it. I will say that things have changed a bit with GMAT Focus. I talk about that a lot. I will say it again, a lot of the things they did with regular, pure math data sufficiency questions, for example, they moved on and just made word problems out of them. So it's not like the skills aren't being tested. I mean, I guess on a certain granular level, things are slightly different, but I would say number properties, are still important in general of, how you're kind of dealing with your quant prep on this test. Now, what I want to start working on today is some stuff with like trailing zeros and digits and things like that, something that we do a lot of in our course. So let's start there. Give me 1 second just to get the document open here. We'll do about 30 minutes today. So if we have maybe about 20 minutes of questions, then some question answer stuff after that. All right, so just getting this open. Here we go. All right, so the first question I want you guys to do is this one. I'll give you a minute or two, then put your answer in the chat box. Okay, so start this one here. All right, so I see most of you guys got this correct. Now, trailing zeros, just as a general rule of thumb, you get a trailing zero every time you have a 5 and a 2, okay? Because 5 times 2 is 10, 10 ends in a 0. When you simplify this, you're left with 25 times 24 times 23 times 22 times 21, right? Now, there is two ways of doing it. You could break this into primes, but that's a whole heck of a long time, or just focus on the prime that there's less of between the 5s and the 2s. There's definitely going to be less 5s. So you just focus on that. We have 2 5s. We know there's going to be more than 2 2s. So the number of trailing zeros can't be any more than 2. And that's going to kind of be a theme throughout some of these questions as we keep moving down the line here. But yeah, just keep that in the back of your mind as we do some of these. So let's next go to this question here. All right, so for this one, I have an important question because I used to always just factor out a 5th root of 5. Did you guys factor out, or did you just add these together? Right. And I think you factored because it seems probably a bit odd to add them together is my thought. But, you know, anytime you're in a situation where you have the same base, which we have here, 5th root of 5, or the same number, just like you can with regular numbers, just like you can with variables, like you can add these together. Now, again, it's all going to come out in the wash, but for whatever reason, I do feel like just adding these together is just a little bit easier because you add them together and you just get 4 times the 5th root of 5, and of course, it's all to the 5th. So it's just something to kind of keep in your back pocket. Then you end up with 4 to the 5th times just plain old 5. So it's clear we're going to get 1 trailing 0 here, right? And that's like the final kind of step here. Because again, we care about what there's less of to generate those trailing zeros. Any questions about that? No, these are our questions, but these are the types of questions that are questions in the GMAT. Well, because think about it, every time you get a 0, you need to have a 2 times a 5, right? So how many times are we going to get 2 times a 5 in that product? It's just going to happen once. So, you know, you can mess around on a calculator. It's very simple, or mess around with numbers as much as you want. That you just need to know that a 2 by a 5 is always going to get you a trailing 0. That's it. So if I had 2 to the 20 times 5 to the 2, that's 2 trailing zeros. If I had 5 to the 100 times, and keep in mind, we teach this in the course. So these webinars aren't meant to be these, you know, deep teaching lessons. You can always get this in the course. 100, 5 to the 100 times 5 to the 3, 3 trailing zeros. It's a very simple formula that's going to get you there. Yes. And there's just, you know, there's no need to overthink it. But now what you can do with this, and I want to try to build up to this, you can use this process with digits, which I'm going to show you now. We'll do this problem, maybe one more. So I want everyone to do their best job understanding that you're using this trailing zero rule here to get the number of digits, to help you get that. All right, so yes, the explanation mentioned there is exactly it. So first you tackle the trailing zeros. So you have 5 to the 2 times 2 to the 1 to the 8, 5 to the 16 times 2 to the 8, 8 to the 3 becomes 2 to the 9, 11 to the 2, of course, is just that. So then you have 2 to the 17. So yes, you have 16 trailing zeros to start. What's left over? 2 to the 1 times 11 to the 2. That's going to be 3 digits. All you do here, oops, let me just rewrite the word digits. All you do is take the 3 digits plus the 16 trailing zeros, add it together. That's how you're going to get your 19 digits here. That's how you deal with something like this. We have time for one more, so let's do this one. Oh, this one might actually be a little bit easier, but we'll do it anyway. All right, take a look at this. We'll end on this guy. All right, you see a bunch of good answers here. So this one isn't bad at all. So I wouldn't even worry about the parentheses. Those are almost meant to throw you off. You combine the 10s. You're going to have an 8 times 10 to the 25. That's an 8 with 25 zeros. That's going to give you 26 total digits. Yeah, you guys are good here. So yeah, this is good. I think everyone is in a pretty good spot with this stuff now. You know, this is kind of a microcosm with a lot of stuff on the GMAT. Like, you know, you just learn a couple small little rules and you can deal with a bunch of questions on them. So does anyone have any questions now, study questions, things like that, that are worth asking me that you might want some help with? Yes, that was a waste of time, so be careful. Strategies with speed, I mean, I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. Recognition and execution is what speed is all about. You know, the sooner you can recognize what's being asked in a question and then execute on a process, the better. So there's really no, you know, there's really no shortcut to that. And through experience and work and all that stuff is how I think you can get to a place where you get faster. We got 26 because we have an 8 with 25 zeros. So you just added them together. 1 digit plus 25 zeros is 26. Any other questions? Any other questions at all here? To be honest, I wouldn't really worry about the GMAT Club questions. Someone said that the other day. The only stuff I can ever comment on is the TTP and OG questions. But if you're doing well with OG, I wouldn't worry about what's happening with the GMAT Club stuff. Well, that would be just memorizing the prime numbers. Yeah, I mean, that's all that is. You know, if you don't know the prime, I mean, this is exactly what I said, execution and recognition. If you don't know the prime numbers, you're not going to execute. Like, it'd be impossible. But, you know, there are ways, if you don't know those prime numbers, to figure it out, but it's going to take time because you got to cycle through and you got to make sure, you know, things aren't multiples of 3 or multiples of 7. I mean, obviously you can get rid of the even numbers, so you don't have to test those, anything ending in a 0, anything ending in a 5. So you're really just testing numbers that are odd and might seem prime, but, you know, and there's quick ways to know whether or not something's divisible by 3 or 9. You just don't know about 7, so you'd actually have to list those out. Any other questions? Anything at all? All right, well, if that is it, we can talk, I think, next week. I got to figure that out. I'm out of town for a little bit, but maybe on Friday we'll still do the webinar. Good work today, everybody. I thought we got through some nice stuff. Looks like you guys grasped it pretty well. I don't know what the next topic is. I kind of just figure it out week to week. Anyway, good job. We'll talk soon. Have a good, safe, healthy weekend. If you need anything, reach out to us. Hopefully you guys are in the middle of TTP right now. So keep cruising, and we'll all talk soon. Thanks, everybody.